Arcadian Vanguard presents The Wrestling News in your daily wrestling newscast for Sunday, October 1st, 2023. Good morning, I'm Mike Sempervive. We begin today with NXT No Mercy, WWE's first premium live event under the banner of TKO, which took place on Saturday night from the Mechanics Bank Arena in Bakersfield, California.
Oh, here we go, Vic. Here we go.
Scott right now is hanging with Lynch, but is she going to hang any longer? Manhandle slam. Onto a pile of steel. Cover, and Becky Lynch retains.
In the show closing main event, Becky Lynch retained the NXT Women's Championship, defeating former champion Tiffany Stratton in an Extreme Rules match filled with weapons and plunder. The finish came when Stratton missed her prettiest moonsault ever, landing onto a pile of steel chairs. That allowed Lynch to use the manhandle slam onto said chairs and take the victory. Lynch's next title match was set up this past Monday night when Tegan Nox defeated Natalya. The two are now scheduled to meet for the title on tomorrow night's edition of Raw. Ilya Dragunov won the NXT title, defeating Carmelo Hayes, who fell in his 7th televised defense.
Looking for a super H bomb. Again connects. Dragunov has done it.
Wow.
Dragunov finished Hayes with an H-bomb strike from the top rope to claim his first NXT championship in 21 minutes and 3 seconds. The two shook hands in a sign of respect after the match. In the only other title change of the night, Trick Williams won the NXT North American title, defeating Dominic Mysterio in 9 minutes and 28 seconds.
And Mysterio with that North American title. Off his face, off the knee, Dragon Lee.
While special referee Dragon Lee was incapacitated, Mysterio attempted to hit Williams with the title belt but failed and ate a knee strike. Mysterio falls in his 6th televised defense. He needed 6 rounds and some outside help to do it, but Noam Dar defeated Butch to retain the Heritage Cup.
He get back on his feet. What the hell, Jakar doing? Oh, the best for the bells from Joe Coffey.
What the hell?
No, 30, no. Dar steals it.
Dar won the bout 2 rounds to 1 after Joe Coffey interfered and hit Butch with a discus lariat behind the referee's back. WWE NXT Tag Team Champions Channing Lorenzo and Tony D'Angelo also retained their titles in a fatal 4-way bout against the teams of Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo, Bronco Nima and Lucian Price, and the Creed brothers. In other results, the show opened with Baron Corbin defeating Braun Breaker, and on the pre-show, Blair Davenport defeated Kalani Jordan. With a look at last night's AEW Collision, here's the Wrestling News' Lou Kipilman.
AEW Collision was broadcast live on TNT last night from the Climate Pledge Arena in Seattle, Washington, and served as the go-home show for tonight's Wrestle Dream pay-per-view. The main event saw the team of Ricky Starks, Big Bill, and Aussie Open come out victorious in an 8-man tag team match, downing the foursome of Bryan Danielson, Wheeler Yuta, and AEW World Tag Team Champions FTR. The finish came when Starks and Big Bill utilized a tandem chokeslam spear finisher on Dax Harwood, allowing Starks to gain the pin. At the conclusion of the match, all 8 men continued to brawl with each other, which allowed guest commentator Zack Sabre Jr. to confront Danielson. Sabre shoved Danielson, who responded by smacking Sabre in the face and attempting to snare him in the lapel lock, but Sabre escaped.
Sabre Jr., Bryan Danielson have battled over the title of who's the best tactical wrestler in the world. At long last, tomorrow night, we're finally going to find out. Is it Bryan? Is it ZSJ? Oh.
Throw some more gasoline onto that fire.
Oh, wait a minute.
See, Danielson trying for the Umaplata, but straight away, Zack Sabre Jr. showing he could escape that in a heartbeat.
Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega down the gates of agony when Jericho submitted Khan with the walls of Jericho. After the bout, Omega and Jericho cut an in-ring promo, running down the Don Callis family, with Jericho directing his comments towards Sammy Guevara.
And tomorrow at Wrestle Dream, Sammy, the villain is going to take out all of my aggressions and all of my frustrations from teaming with your little ass for the last 4 years out on you, Jericho and Omega and Ibushi. We're coming for you, family.
Julia Hart defeated Vert Vixen. Following the match, Hart demanded Chris Statlander come down to the ring, but bailed out when the TBS champion appeared.
The clock is ticking, and tomorrow night on Wrestle Dream, your time is up!
Commentary noted Hart's now 28-match winning streak is the longest in AEW. In other results, the Kingdom team of Matt Taven and Mike Bennett knocked off the Best Friends tandem of Chuck Taylor and Trent Beretta. The Righteous quickly dispatched Travis Williams and Judas Icarus. And in the show's opening matchup, Andrade El Idolo defeated Juice Robinson. During the bout, Miro's wife, the hot and flexible CJ, was shown scouting the match on a monitor in the back. It was also announced during the program that Claudio Castagnoli will face former UFC heavyweight champion and submission wrestling practitioner Josh Barnett during tonight's 0-hour pre-show. In addition to Castagnoli Barnett, AEW announced 2 additional matches on Saturday for tonight's 0-hour pre-show. Nick Wayne will face off against Luchasaurus, and the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn will defend the AEW Trios titles against Zack Sabre Jr.'s TMDK partners, Shane Haste, Mikey Nichols, and Bad Dude Tito. Christian Cage, defending the TNT title against Darby Allin, will be the main event of tonight's AEW Wrestle Dream pay-per-view. Allin revealed the match to be in the main event during the AEW Countdown to Wrestle Dream special the company produced to hype the event.
I've waited to be in the main event of an AEW show for so long. You haven't seen until you wrestled Darby in Seattle at Wrestle Dream in the main event.
The match between Allin and Cage will be contested under 2 out of 3 falls rules, and its position as a main event has fueled speculation that the debut of Christian's longtime tag team partner Adam Copeland may be imminent. For the wrestling news, I'm Lou Kipilman.
WWE also ran a house show on Saturday night at the Chase Center in San Francisco, California, which featured 3 championship matches. In the main event, WWE World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins held on to his title, defeating The Miz. WWE Women's Champion Io Sky retained over Charlotte Flair, and Intercontinental Champion Gunther turned back the challenge of Chad Gable. Other results saw Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods defeat Giovanni Vinci and Ludwig Kaiser. LA Knight topped Austin Theory. Nia Jax beat Zoe Stark. Bronson Reed defeated Otis, and Cody Rhodes downed Damian Priest in a street fight. WWE also runs tonight at the Tahoe Blue Event Center in State Line, Nevada. In ratings news, SmackDown's overnight numbers are in, and the Fox program notched a total viewership of 2.155 million viewers, according to Programming Insider. That number is up 40,000 viewers from the previous week's overnight number of 2.445 million. In the key 18 to 49-year-old demographic, this past Friday night's edition of the show finished with a .53 rating, which is down from the .58 rating the show scored on September 22nd. SmackDown's overnights also led network TV in the 18 to 34 and 25 to 54-year-old demographics. Full ratings numbers for SmackDown are expected later this week. Now with our final story today, here's the Wrestling News' Lou Kipilman.
Our final report today will contain some spoilers about an upcoming DDT show, which debuts on the Wrestle Universe streaming service this coming Tuesday, October 3rd. These will not be full results, but only the newsworthy items that occurred during these tapings. If you wish to not hear any of these spoilers, we'll give you a moment to make your decision. And please remember to follow us across all of our forms of social media. DDT taped the Saki Akai 10th Anniversary and Final Countdown in Kyoto event on Saturday, and the show saw several title changes take place. Akai upset Mao to win the DDT Iron Man Heavy Metal title, but in a subsequent impromptu match, She turned around and lost it to Kazuki Hirata. The DDT Iron Man Heavy Metal Tag Team title also changed hands, as Mao and Yuki Ueno knocked off Akito and Kazuki Hirata. The only championship retention came in the bout for the KOD six-man tag team title, which saw the team of Hideki Okatani, Saki Akai, and Yukio Sakaguchi turn back the challenge of Harashima, Masahiro Takanishi, and Mei Saruga. For the wrestling news, I'm Lou Kipilman.
And before we leave you today, we'd like to remind you that however you consume your content, you can find the wrestling news 24 hours a day and 7 days a week across social media. On Twitter, follow us at Wrestling News AV. Our Facebook page is also Wrestling News AV. The Wrestling News can also be found on the Arcadian Vanguard YouTube page. And for those who utilize Amazon Echo devices, just tell Alexa to play the Wrestling News podcast. And remember to make sure you add podcast at the end. Once again, for daily updates, breaking news, and more, follow the Wrestling News across social media. And that's the news for today. If anything happens, we will be here to tell you about it. No clickbait, no paywall, just the Wrestling News. The Wrestling News is a division of Arcadian Vanguard, and the Wrestling Newscast is a production of the Arcadian Vanguard Podcast Network.